What's going on? Your host AMF1534 here. Welcome back to Let's Play some more Gran Turismo, the ultimate driving simulator. So I finally got the microphone volume issue fixed. For some reason, last episode it just dipped well below the acceptable level, and all the game audio virtually drowned out my voice and we couldn't understand much of anything. And it was so weird because I don't know why it happened. And because of the fact that I filmed this on Fraps, it consolidates the voice audio and the game audio into one file, and so I can't adjust those things individually like I could if I were filming something on like my HD capture device that I use for PS3 and PS4 stuff, because I get all the game footage off of one part and then I do my voice audio on Audacity, and so I can tinker with the volume on things at my own leisure. So it's a total bummer, but I've been having some really weird things happening to electronics in this room as of late, which totally reinforces the fact that this room might just be haunted. I mean, you guys saw the video a number of months ago. We saw something floating around in here while I was doing an update, so it's weird, man. But I had something going on with my microphone. A couple days ago, I had something weird happen to my capture device where it was malfunctioning and acting weird. And you guys were here earlier in the week when my wireless router was acting weird, and it just like totally reset itself for no reason at all, like totally unprovoked. So if there's anybody in here, just cut the shit, you know, just cut it out. I've got stuff to do, so do it on your own time, you know. Don't make me come in there. I don't really know where it is I'd be going, but do not make me come in there because you would not like it. I've got some leftover sausage dogs in the fridge, and do not make me take a couple of those and go cram them up into you, alright? You would not enjoy that. I'd even turn them sideways because it makes it even more uncomfortable for your ethereal ass. So now that I'm done talking to ghosts, we can get down to real business here. So what we did in the last episode was we went into the GT League and we took on the GT Cup and we won. And in the process of doing that, we got an awesome car. We got our first Racing Edition car of this game so far with this really cool Toyota Chaser LM Edition that's got a buttload of horsepower ready for our usage, and we're going to today. I'm feeling really good about that. So what are we going to do, though? That is the question. We can do these things down here. Well, at least these two. We couldn't do that one because it's not American. But what I was looking at right as I started this, because I really don't want to do one of these yet. I'm just trying to hold off on these as long as I can because I just I hate them so much. But I was thinking about this Mega Speed joint. So I kind of want to see what the competition is in here to see if, you know, we have a decent shot at winning or if maybe the cars are overpowering us a little bit. So let's check it out just a little bit before we get into it. I also changed, I went into the game settings and I changed the game audio just a little bit. I turned the sound effects down just a smidgen. I figured since we're at this point in the game where we're going to start using much higher powered cars, I figured those were going to be a lot louder when we're driving them, so I turned the sound effects down just a smidgen so that it still wouldn't overpower my voice. If we find out that it's too quiet, I'll go back and fix it later, but we'll check it out. Oh my god! Jeez, these cars are stacked, man! 900 horsepower! I mean, we knew that twin turbo could do that. I've totally got the same car, but holy smokes! And better yet, what the hell is a Cosmo 20B? I've never even heard of one of those, or a Z 2x2 turbo. I've never heard of one of those either. I don't think that we'd really be able to win this, man. Having that 250 horsepower discrepancy could be a really bad thing. I don't know if I want to take the risk on that just yet. Okay, yeah, we're definitely not going to do this. We need a different car for that. Maybe if we do one of these little Class A license championship things, then we might have a better chance, and maybe we'll get a better car for it as a prize. So we'll do that. We'll do U.S. versus Japan, and we'll get that one started up a little bit since I just realized we're already 4 minutes into this, and we've done virtually nothing besides me talk to ghosts and realize that we're outmatched. So I apologize. It was. I just hope that, you know, my computer doesn't explode or something in the midst of this. Oh yeah, that looks a lot better. Cool. I'm down. We shall do it. I'm not going to do the qualifier lap. We've already spent enough time fooling around with things. We'll just, we'll get right into it. On Trial Mountain, nonetheless. This ought to be interesting. Haven't done one of these with all racing caliber cars. This will be a real fun time. Dude, that would have been a bummer if I would have actually gone into that high-speed challenge. Like, we go strolling into that challenge with with the car that we have. Like, it's got like all these cool decals and the whole like the body kit, and it's got you know, like the cool spoiler and all these things, and all those other cars, while being, you know, extremely powerful cars, they're just like, you know, totally plain as day, like no special paint job, none of that stuff, and they just wipe the floor with me. How demoralizing would that be for a guy's psyche? Like, oh yeah, look at me in my race car, and they're like, ah, well, you don't even want to know what's under this thing, and then the thing starts like, see you later. And they're like, yeah, indeed, see you later, bitch, and they just, wah, and we lose. And we gotta drive by these guys again at some point when they're like sitting there laughing until they piss themselves that they, you know, slammed the living bejesus out of a guy driving a race car. Oh god, oh no, okay. Ooh, this guy's driving a little Subi-Sub. Yes, he is. Oh no! Oh crap. Should have known that was a possibility. Oh no. I mean, luckily we are driving a car that can catch up, but I don't really want to put ourselves at that massive disadvantage where we gotta start playing catch up, you know? I'd rather be playing, you know, mustard or relish at this point. I would much rather relish in a victory than play the other condiment game of catch up, because it sucks. I mean, catch up's awesome. I don't mean that catch up sucks, but playing catch up definitely sucks. So, definitely. So, oh, I've got story time for you guys tonight. Oh, yes, I do. Oh, no, it happened again! Oh, God. That is my Achilles heel with driving cars like this, man, is that I'm a little bit rusty with trying to handle these things. There's a lot more power in there, and so trying to harness it is a real task. But I am up to the task. I am. We're gonna make it happen. We're going to. So I had a very intriguing thing happen at work yesterday, which it really pissed me off because it was keeping me from getting somewhere on time that I was trying to get to. I had my fantasy football draft to get to last night, and I was like, I had to get off of work at 6 o'clock sharp, and I needed to get to my friend's house like ASAP because it started at 7, and I just didn't want to be late. I wanted to make sure that I got there comfortably and I had enough time to set up for it and all that stuff. And as it's like it's 5:55, I'm getting ready to close everything up, and this old guy comes in. He's like, "Oh, you guys are still open, aren't you?" And I was just like, "Yes, we are." And so he's like, "Okay, well, I'm just gonna browse around for a couple minutes." And then he decides to. He's like, "I got a couple questions for you if it's okay to ask." I was like, "Sure. What do you got?" And so before I get too far into this, let's have a little impromptu edition of Adam's Health Tips, where you learn shit whether you like it or not. Wing! So this guy, he comes up asking me, he's like, "So I've heard, I was wondering if you guys have any tea tree oil. I've been looking to use it for some health benefits, if you know what I'm saying." I was like, okay. So traditionally, tea tree oil is used as like an antibiotic, or not like an antibiotic necessarily, but it's an antibacterial. People use it for like nail funguses, and you can use it as like an antiseptic to to treat wounds and all sorts of things. It's quite the multi-tool when it comes to killing bacteria and viruses and such. But you're not supposed to ingest it. I mean, it's really concentrated, and it can actually be extremely dangerous to do that. Warning: extremely dangerous. Keep out of reach of children, says Sid Phillips. But hold on a second. Let's finish this thing up and claim that first place prize. Let's just hope we can do it without totally messing up. Oh, okay, we're good. Despite flipping around twice, we actually did really well there in that final lap. So yeah, so it's definitely just like an antibacterial. It's really not used for anything else. But this guy's like, well, I've been looking to use it for some various health benefits, but the main one that I was wanting to use it for was for erectile dysfunction. And I was like, really? I was like, where did you hear that it was good for that? He's like, well, I was, looking around at some different articles on the internet, and I was just like, haha, That's probably why, because it's the internet. You can, dude, people will say anything about anything on the internet. People will be like, well, you know, if you take, you know, like some antifreeze and you rub it on your junk, well, it'll just increase the amount of semen that you produce by like 7,000%, and you'll basically turn into a fire hose. Like, that's something that I feel like somebody would legitimately say, and somebody would believe that. But he's like, so I heard that if you get tea tree oil toothpaste and you use that it'll actually help correct erectile dysfunction problems. And I was like, wait a minute. So you mean to tell me that you think that using tea tree oil toothpaste, just brushing your teeth with tea tree oil toothpaste, is going to fix your erectile dysfunction problem? He's like, well, yeah. This guy actually thinks that using an antibacterial toothpaste is going to somehow magically make his old, withered, just wilted up schlog work better somehow because he's got a clean set of choppers. I can't believe it. That is gotta be one of the most bizarre things that I have ever heard in terms of male enhancement. And it wasn't even like a matter of like, you know, like applying it topically. Like I was expecting him to say like, take like the tea tree oil or like whatever and applying it topically on your freaking gonads there, and that was gonna somehow fix the issue, which, I mean, all it would do really is if you had some sort of like open wound or bacteria on that, it might help sanitize it and it would be quite the astringent. It would give you dry as hell skin, but I don't see any part where that would help, you know, improve your ability to freaking pop a bone ski. I couldn't figure that out for the life of me. And he legitimately thought that was going to work. And I told him, I was like, sir, I mean, they're definitely finding new usages for things all the time, but I've got to tell you, I don't think that one's going to be the answer for what you're looking for. I got plenty of other options that at least have been clinically studied and are more or less proven to help in that situation, but I don't know if you're really going to get much of anything out of that. And so, but he decided to do it. He's like, well, you know, I mean, he's like, how much is this thing? I was like, it's about $5. He's like, well, you know what, I'll try it. What's the worst that could happen? I was like, I mean, the worst that could happen is that it doesn't work. He's like, exactly. So, you know, we'll try it, and if it doesn't work, then you'll see me soon. I was like, I probably will, because I can't see where that's going to help you out. It's just so weird, man. People will believe anything if somebody in front of them on a screen tells them it works, whether they're a doctor or not. They're like, oh, well, you know, I was treating problems with my dog by, you know, using dish soap and like using dish soap, Raid, and a couple of apples. You'd never believe what it does. And people would do that. People would believe that if somebody wrote it, just because. I've got somebody that comes in and talks to me all the time, and she'll tell me all these bogus as hell things that she hears about, that she totally believes in because she read it on a forum, and the person, you know, talking claimed to be an herbalist. And so because, you know, they claim to be an herbalist and it says on their name profile that that's what they are, that, you know, you can totally believe that. And I was just like, why? Why would you ever believe that that person's what they say they are? Anybody can be anything that they want. So don't believe in that crap. But it was funny, man. I couldn't believe it. It was things that you hear. And then I had some other guy that was like totally going like conspiracy theory into, oh no! No, not there! Oh, of all places for that to happen! It had to happen on the final lap, like not very far away from the finish. Oh no! Oh god. Okay, at least we can shoot for second place. If we can do that, I'll be satisfied with that. Oh no! Oh no! We're gonna get third! Oh god, we're gonna get fourth! Oh god, what an epic meltdown. It's like the Pennsylvania Little League team. They were beating Japan 10-2 after the first inning in the Little League World Series today. And then they ended up losing 18-11. They just totally crumbled and fell apart and lost, which is exactly what I just did. I had that race in command, and I totally blew it. Twice, actually. We had the chance to at least come back and fix it. But I mean, at least there's a three-way tie for first. But holy shit, man, that was awful. I can't believe that happened. Ugh. Now I have so much pressure on me to finish this up. Yeesh. Nightmare fuel, you know? Alright guys, well, let's see what the final race is here, and then when we come back on the next episode... Oh, it's high-speed ring. We should be able to do this, man. Our car is definitely the fastest one out of all of these, so there's no reason why we shouldn't be able to take this one. You know what? We're actually going to do it right now. High-speed ring is actually a very, very, it's a very fast thing. It's basically just a giant, really elongated oval, so that's a pretty quick race. Or am I thinking of something? No, I'm thinking of the test track. High-speed ring is different. That's the one that's got, yeah, it's got like the, it looks like, kind of looks like the Coca-Cola polar bear. Okay, we're going to do this one. I think we're going to win this. I mean, we have to, because I don't know how many races are in here. I think these championships have 5 races in them, but I could be wrong. Jeez, those guys are getting quite the jump out there. They really left me in the dust out the gate. That was weird. Especially considering I have so much more horsepower than them. Like, I totally understand, like, the 4-wheel drive cars doing that. Like, the Subaru, that's not surprising to me in the least. Like, 4-wheel drive cars get such a crazy jump off the block. Especially, like, when we had that GTO, the twin-turbo one, like, we saw that when I started driving. Like, as soon as it said go, you just like, whoa, just was to take right off. But those rear-wheel drive cars, man, you just kind of spin the wheels in place for a second or two before you really get moving. We'll catch up. When you have the most horsepower, when you're really pulling the most pure horse sex, then, well, I mean, you will definitely wilt all the flowers around you, because, you know, this is how it works. Sometimes you just gotta, you know, flip the burger and put it back in the same place and stare at it for a while and then tell your friend that it's done, because that's how real men make a barbecue. Alright, at least we're in control again here. The last thing I need to have happen is to spin out and flip around again. I still can't believe that happened, man. Those things happen by such just a tiny fraction of an error. I held on to the turn for just a little bit too long. If I would have let go of it, we would have been just fine. But I couldn't leave well enough alone on that. While we live well enough alone, never thought about the shame. Oh God. Calm down, Toyo tires. Jeez. I kind of like the fact that that the little like body kit for the things covering our wheel wells are white. I think it kind of makes a nice touch to it. I think it would still look really tight if it was all black, just because having anything in all black like that is actually a really nice touch visually. But I kind of like that it breaks up the monotony of the one color scheme by having that white there, because it's really the only spot that it has it, besides that little white banner on the upper part of the windshield. So, I love it, dude. I really like this car. This car, it kind of reminds me, even though it doesn't really look that much the same, and it's not even the same color, but it reminds me, for like just little nuances, it reminds me of the Dyson Sylvia that I drove a lot in GT2. That was one of my favorite cars, the whole thing. The only thing I wish that was different about that car was the color, because that weird, like, burnt-ass macaroni and cheese orange color just really didn't look very appealing. I just thought that it just looked so heinous. But that's okay. I mean, we won a lot of races with that thing, man. Okay, so there are 5 races in here. At least that's what it leads me to believe. I'll bet you that we're gonna have to end this thing out on R11. I got that feeling going. Alright guys, well, we have taken control of this championship once more after that nice, dominating win in the clutch. So, when we come back on the next episode of Let's Play Gran Turismo, the Ultimate Driving Simulator, we are going to take on Grand Valley East 2, and what I would assume to be the closer in this tournament with a special stage R11. I really hope not, because driving it with a car like that is going to be not my favorite cup of joe in the morning. I'm not really much of a coffee in the morning guy anyways, so that makes it all the worse. But until then, my friends, this is your host AMF1534 saying thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye. Don't put tea tree oil on your balls, by the way. That's a terrible idea. Just don't do it.